So perhaps as a couple, you want to start planning towards something like a magical journey, an odyssey across Europe. Well, today we're looking at a European voyage from Italy to the Baltics in May this year, which you can book by calling 0861 777 245. And I suggest you do it right now. Paula and Josie from Imagine Cruising are back to tell us a little bit more about this incredible cruise and some of the destinations. So I'm expecting both of you to weigh in, because I know how passionate you are about, especially one of the particular places that we're going to be visiting. No surprise there. But let's talk about some of the cities, the ports that we'll be visiting. 29,999. And I keep saying that because that's kind of like the price of a plane ticket now to Europe. And that's flights are included in that price package as well. But maybe you can take me through some of the ports that we're going to be visiting.
Perfect. Well, let's start at the very beginning. You fly into Milan, which is obviously known as one of the sort of global hotspots of the world, and obviously a fashion capital. So ladies and gents, credit cards at the ready, it's danger. Every single designer brand, from a Prada to a Versace, you'll find it there. But being Italy, you really get sort of that quintessential Italian feeling from little sort of terrace areas and great Italian food and wine. It's all there, and there's piles of history and beautiful architecture. So
culture,
Milan, you're really spoiled for choice there. And from Milan, and obviously flying into Milan, you then head to Savona, which is where you will embark on the gorgeous Costa Magica, and your journey with us begins.
I love that. One city we never tire of speaking about, and it's one that I haven't been to. Barcelona feels like one of the most just the perfect balance of history and modern contemporary culture when it comes to either art, food, and architecture. It doesn't matter. It seems like one city that has to be on everyone's list.
Barcelona. We love it. Barcelona. It's incredible, and I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's really a melting pot. I was really lucky to spend a lot of time there last year, and I found some gems. I think it's one of those cities that you can just explore every day, a little bit like Cape Town. You find something new, which is incredible. For me, obviously, it's the most famous thing about it is Gaudi and the architecture. And from the lampposts and sort of rooftops to the buildings, you see his influence in everything in that city. It's also a nice one to sort of walk on foot. It's quite easy to navigate. And from Barcelona, you then head to Seville, which is equally famous, has a little bit of Gothic influence as well, and is obviously famous for its oranges. So finest marmalades in the world. If you're wondering what to bring back for mom, dad, and all your mates back home, you've got to stock up on those, but an incredible city as well.
I think you eat your way through all of these cities as well. I think that's the best way to explore a culture for me, especially when it comes to Portuguese culture. My eyes are drawn to the center of our table, but from there we obviously move around the Iberian coast to Portugal, Lisboa. Lisbon, a bit of a hotspot. It's becoming quite chic about it at the moment, yeah?
It's a huge hotspot, and it's a great option for South Africans, and super reasonable. The Portuguese are so friendly, and obviously there's incredible food. Lisbon is one of my best cities, and it's one of those places that really isn't very daunting. It's super easy to navigate, also very easy to just walk. So I suggest packing very comfy walking shoes.
Walk-friendly shoes.
Yeah, you're going to be doing a couple kilometers in that place. And one of my top recommendations when you head to Lisbon for the first time, especially for the foodies, is to head to a market called the Time Out Market, which is right at the port near the Tower of Belém. Oh, there we are, checking. But it's incredible, and it's obviously an opportunity to experience all the different Portuguese delicacies under one roof, and it's super vibey. Have I missed anything? This is the person who's got a lot more Portuguese heritage than me.
You see your eyes light up when you start talking about
No, there's so much to do. I mean, you can even take the tram and crisscross around the city, and then go right to the top where there's the Castle of St. George, the Castle of St. George, and you've got the most spectacular views over that city. It's absolutely stunning. And when you're there, you have to go to the Belém, Pastéis Nata from Belém. So I did remember this time.
Thank you, dear.
And I brought
really
you some
appreciate
to taste. So, yes, so that's awesome.
From there, you head to Vigo. So it doesn't end, the fun doesn't end there, neither does the eating. So you you start there, and then you head to Vigo, which is obviously famous for sort of being a very beautiful hillside little village. Great seafood, also a little bit of medieval architecture. And then from there, we hit the English Channel. We start heading in towards that, and we end in the city of Leuven, just in time for a bit of a day trip and an opportunity to obviously see the Eiffel Tower, something you've got to do in your life, as well as the Arc de Triomphe. And even if you aren't into the big sites, grab a café crème and a pain au chocolat and walk and just absorb the magic of Paris. It's unlike any place on earth.
We really have covered absolutely every facet. I absolutely love it. So you brought not only great cuisine, but another little surprise for us. What have you got?
Well, we've got Josie here. No, it's definitely a definitely value for money cruise, eh?
It's amazing. You also then obviously end in London, and from London you head to Amsterdam. So it doesn't stop there. There is piles on offer, and from Buckingham Palace to grabbing a bicycle and getting those Ks in Amsterdam, it's really an incredible value for money holiday.
Every iconic element of Europe is encompassed. Thank you so much. So good to welcome you to the team. Paula, I'm going to miss you. You're going to have to come back, I think, to just add a little bit of spice. But from London, Paris, Amsterdam, just a few of the great cities that you'll be visiting. But we've got something very special for you right now, just to get you into that atmosphere of I think, one of the standout destinations on this trip.
Não namoros os franceses, menina, Lisboa. Portugal é meigo às vezes, mas certas coisas não perdoa. Vê-te bem no espelho desse honrado velho que o teu belo exemplo atrai. Segue o seu leal conselho, não deixes gostos ao teu pai. Lisboa, não sejas francesa, com toda a certeza não vais ser feliz. Lisboa, que ideia de ninha, vaidosa alfacinha, casar com Paris. Lisboa, tens cá namorados que dizem coitados com as almas na voz. Lisboa, não sejas francesa, tu és portuguesa, tu és sobre nós. Tens amor às lindas fardas, menina, Lisboa. Vê lá bem para quem te guardas, donzela sem regato enjoa. Tens aí tenentes bravos e valentes, nados e criados cá. Tenho amados mais decentes, menina caprichosa e má. Lisboa, não sejas francesa, com toda a certeza não vais ser feliz. Lisboa, que ideia daninha, vaidosa alfacinha, casar com Paris. Lisboa, tens cá namorados que dizem coitados com as almas na voz. Lisboa, não sejas francesa, tu és portuguesa, tu és sobre nós.